Hello, students. So let's start with IELTS listening discussion for 1st October 2020. I've already shared the listening PDF and the listening audio in WhatsApp message, and I'll also be sharing the listening audio and the listening PDF in the description of this YouTube video. Also, please like and subscribe our channel. Let's start with the discussion.
You will hear a telephone conversation between a man and a college receptionist. You have 30 seconds to look at questions 1 to 4.
Now in the IELTS test, the pattern has been changed. There is no example question nowadays. So we'll be skipping the example question and we'll be straight going to the first question.
Good morning. I'd like to know with languages and computer skills.
Okay. What languages are you interested in?
Actually, I'm not sure. I have to fulfill a language requirement for school, but I haven't really decided what language to study. How many language courses do you run each week?
We have two every night from Monday to Friday.
I'm sorry, but would you mind going through the schedule for me?
Not at all. Monday to Wednesday are modern European languages French, Spanish, German, Dutch, and Polish. Thursday night, we offer ancient languages Latin and ancient Greek.
So Thursday is ancient languages. The keyword here is ancient, which are two ancient languages, Latin and ancient Greek. So ancient word is optional here. If you read your instructions carefully, ancient word is not compulsory, it's just optional. Let's move to the next question.
And on Friday, we finish off with the Asian languages of Hindi and Bengali.
Monday to Wednesday.
Now, notice the pronunciation of Asian. He's saying Asian, so that's a different pronunciation. You have to be clear about pronunciation. And the languages are Hindi and Bengali.
Wednesday, modern European. Thursday, ancient languages, and Friday, Asian. Uh, can you spell Bengali, please?
Yes, it's Bengali.
Great. And
So spellings of Bengali are given. That makes the answer very easy to find out, and you can write it without any mistake. Let's move to the third question.
how much do the courses cost?
Each course costs £25 per person per term. But if you want to do two language courses, there's a 10% discount, but only if you book for 2 terms.
So the 10%.
So the 10% discount is for 2 terms. So the key word here is terms. Had to listen this word in order to get your answer correct.
Discount is if I take two courses for 2 terms. Is that right?
Right.
Would it be possible for me to book my classes right now?
No, sorry, the computer's down. What I suggest you do is call extension 9694. No, sorry, 6994 after 6 p.m. and ask for Mrs. Johnson.
I'm sorry, I didn't
So the correct extension doesn't start with 9, the correct extension starts with 6. So take care of this little trick played by the examiner.
get that. Did you say 6994 after 6 p.m.?
Yes, 6994. Please ask for Mrs. Johnson.
Thanks.
So what makes it easy? Let's repeat it 4 or 5 times. Let's move to questions 5 to 10.
Questions 5 to 10.
Okay, can we now look at the computer skills courses?
Yes, of course. Computer classes always start in the first week of the month, and the way it works is we offer one computer class for the entire month. So you might spend 1 month on databases, another month on Excel, and so on. Classes meet once a week on Tuesday afternoons.
So you might spend 1 month on databases, in the next month on Excel, and so on. So the first subject he's mentioning is databases, and it is plural as is compulsory here. So it is databases, DATABASES, databases.
The next class starts February 1st.
Okay, so for the upcoming month, February,
February is going to be databases. There are
So again, it is repeated that February is going to be databases.
24 places still free on that course, and it costs £40 per person.
February, databases, 24 openings, £40. Okay.
Excel starts in March, and that's nearly full, only 4 slots left. It's
So slots are places. Slot is a synonym of place. SLOTS. Slots. How many slots are left? Just four. So your sixth answer is four.
£45.
Okay. Excel, March, only 4 slots left. Got it?
April is Outlook. That is never as popular since it costs so much more, but you get a free CD. It is £60 for the month, and there are 19 places left.
Okay.
So it is how many pounds for the month? 60 pounds. So you have to draw the pound sign and you have to write 60 with it. Fine. Now pound sign is compulsory here because it is given in other answers also. So you have to write the pound sign.
April, Outlook, £60. Is that it?
No, on the 3rd of June, we start a Word course. We have 16 vacancies for that at the
So on the 3rd of June, not May. Take care. It's first it is February, then March, April. May is not there. Next month is 3rd June. So they are starting with a word course.
moment. It's also expensive at £55.
3rd of June, Word, 16 vacancies, £55.
So vacancies is another synonym of slots or places. Vacancy. VACANCY. Vacancies how many? 16. 1 6. Don't write it as 60. Listen carefully, okay?
Now, do I call the same number to book a place on one of these classes?
No, you have to call Mary Jones, I think. Yes, Mary Jones, extension 9623.
Sorry, could you repeat that number?
Yes, extension 9623. Please call her before 6 p.m.
Okay.
But the question is not for the extension number. The keyword is before. So call Mary Jones before. That means they are asking some day or some time. Time is given, that is 6 p.m. So another very clever trick used by the examiner, that they are giving you the extension or the phone number while in the question they are asking for the time. So take care of this thing. Let's move to second section.
Many thanks for all your help.
You will hear an introduction for students to a university campus. You have 30 seconds to look at questions 11 to 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Donovan, the principal of Don Levy University, and I would
So she is the principal of the Don Levy University. So your answer will be university. Mind your spellings, okay? And after university there is a comma. So the same line is continuing. So listen carefully.
like to welcome you to the Dinglewood campus, which is one of the three campuses belonging to this university.
So they are asking about the total number of campuses. So explained how the university has three campuses. Dinglewood is just one campus. But the question is for the total number of campuses. So the total number of campuses is three. Let's move to 13th.
This campus, Dinglewood, is where I have my office, and it's also the location of Languages and Science campus, so some of you will be studying here. Dinglewood is the most northerly campus. The business studies blocks are in the Churchdown campus in the centre of town, and the southern or Trailway campus, where history and architecture are situated, is to the south of the town. Those of you who are enrolled in any of those courses will be taken to your respective buildings at the end of this meeting. Those of you studying on the Dinglewood campus, you will have a tour later too. This building we are assembled in is the Office and Administration Block, Block 39, and is where the weekly meetings are held. You are welcome to attend these meetings, as are all the university staff. You may want to, as many university issues are discussed at these weekly.
Now this gets quite confusing here because all the answers they are merged together. So let's go through this part again and we'll try to locate the answers from 13th, 14th, 15th and 16 again. Now listen carefully.
Down campus in the centre of town, and the southern or trailway campus where I have my office, and it's also Dinglewood is where I have my office, and it's also the location of languages and
So at the start, she mentioned that she is the principal of the Don Levy University. Now, directly, they are asking you in 13th question that dash is in our campus. So she mentions it indirectly. Now, this is a difficult question. Listen again carefully.
you to the Dinglewood campus, which is one of the three campuses belonging to this university. This campus, Dinglewood, is where I have my office, and it's
So this campus, Dinglewood, is where I have my office. So the principal's office is on our campus. Fine. So this is the welcoming speech by the principal, and the welcoming speech is presented from another person's perspective. So keep this thing in mind. In the question, they are speaking from the perspective of the principal, but in the blanks, they are speaking from the perspective of the students. Okay, so listen carefully.
also the location of Languages and Science campus, so some of you will be studying here. Dinglewood is the most northerly campus. The business studies blocks are in the Churchdown campus in the centre of town, and the southern or Trailway campus, where history and architecture are situated, is to the south of the town. Those of you who are enrolled in any of those courses will be taken to your respective buildings at the end of this meeting. Those of you studying on the Dinglewood campus, you will have a tour later too. This building we are assembled in is the Office and Administration Block.
So which building it is? It is the office and the administration block,
Block 39, and is where the weekly meetings are held.
and it is where the weekly meetings are held. So this one is easy.
You are welcome to attend these meetings, as are all the university staff. You may want to, as many university issues are discussed at these weekly meetings. The meetings take place at 1:30 every Tuesday, so please stop by. Two other important buildings are also located on this campus, the cafeteria and the on-site shop. You can purchase all the required books and any stationery you need for your courses at this shop. Please bear
So you can buy all the required book and any stationery you need. Stationery is already mentioned. So the other thing that you can buy from there is all the required books. So both the words are compulsory for the answer to be correct.
in mind that even though you have shown your ID passes to enter this site, you still need to use them again to buy anything in the shop or cafeteria.
So even though you get your ID passes, but you still need to carry them. You have to show your ID passes. So we must carry our ID passes to get into the campus. So although you have got your ID passes, but still you have to carry them in your pocket at all times. Let's move to the next set of questions.
This is for security reasons.
You now have 30 seconds to look at questions 17 to 20.
If I could draw your attention to the back page of your joining instructions booklet, you will see a small map of this campus, Dinglewood. The block we are in now, the Office and Administration block, is located between the Languages Centre, Block 38, and the Physics School, Block 30.
So it is located between the Languages Center, Block 38, and Block 30, which is what? Physics School. So 17th is your physics school.
That's 30. These are both on the right side of the plan. The cafeteria, which is open from 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., is on the left of the plan. It is between the chemistry block, number 35, and the university shop.
So again, easy cafeteria is between the chemistry shop or chemistry block, sorry, and the university shop. And remember the spellings of cafeteria. It can come as a question in some other listening. Cafeteria is a short full form of cafe. Let's see 19th.
Block 33. At the university shop, you can get all you will need in terms of course materials. The biology block is block number 29, and you'll find the biology block between the chemistry block and the languages center.
So self-evident and very easy. Biology block is 29 and it's between chemistry and languages.
Be careful with the numbers, as they are not always logical. As you will see, there are gardens on the right-hand side of the gate. These are being extended over the next 2 months, and a memorial fountain is being installed in the middle of the campus. This means that the campus will be
And a memorial fountain is being installed in the middle of the campus. So what is the right answer here? Fountain, or a better answer would be memorial fountain. Memorial means something that is in remembrance of something else. किसी चीज दी यादगार. So memorial fountain. Remember the spellings: MEMORIAL. Memorial fountain. Okay, let's move to third section.
very noisy during normal working hours. However, the campus will look much nicer when it's all finished. Right, so that's it for your initial campus orientation. At this point, could the language students all follow me, please, and the rest of you, please assemble under the banners which show your main topic of studies. Your project. Look at
Hi, Bill. How are you?
I'm okay now, Sarah, but I was so ill last week.
Oh dear. What was the problem? Did you eat that dodgy fish in the canteen?
No,
So she's saying, did you eat that dodgy fish in the canteen? Dodgy means something that is suspicious. DODGY. Dodgy. Suspicious, something that is not of good quality. That is dodgy. So she's saying, did you eat that dodgy fish in the canteen? So that means she's talking about B option, because if we eat something wrong, then only we can get a food allergy. But Bill is not agreeing with this answer. So what is Bill's response? Listen carefully.
at first I thought it was a cold, but then my head started hurting and my eyes started to go blurry.
So at first he thought it was a cold, but that's not the correct answer, because later on he started to have pain in his head.
I'm so sorry. That sounds serious.
It's okay, actually.
So at first he thought it was a cold, but it was actually not a cold. It was a severe pain in his head. Severe means very harsh or very high level of pain. Okay, let's move to 22nd.
I went to the doctor and he diagnosed me with a migraine. He gave me some medicine and I'm starting to feel much better.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'm also glad you're in today because we have to work on a new project together.
Oh, are we in the same section?
No, it's just us. No one else. Mr. Donaldson has put us down as B team because we live near each other.
That could be fun. What do we have to do?
So Mr. Dollans have put us in the B team because we live near each other. So Bill and Sarah, they live near each other. B option is not correct because they haven't mentioned. It's not given that whether they have worked on a project together or not. They have plans for later that evening? No, nothing of the sort is discussed. So only correct option is A, that they live near each other.
Well, the project is partly internet research, then checking reference books for information to prepare a survey, which we have to use with people we know.
Great. What's the topic?
It's to do with shopping over the last 10 years. We have to find out how customers have changed their behavior.
Okay. So what's
So project is concerned with shopping, but that doesn't mean it is related to shopkeepers. Now listen this carefully.
the first step?
I think the first thing to do is check the list of references he gave me. But my computer
Now
is not to
listen.
compare, so me. Do is
What's the first?
customers have changed the which books for information to prepare a survey, which we have to use with people.
So we need information to prepare a survey. And what is a questionnaire? Questionnaire is a short question booklet in which you ask the questions. So they have to prepare a questionnaire in the form of a survey. Remember the spellings of a questionnaire. Questionnaire can be used in some other listening, can be used in your writing also.
We know.
Great. What's the topic?
It's to do with shopping over the last 10 years. We have to find out how customers have changed their behavior.
Okay.
So we have to find out means we have to research how the customers have change their behavior. So it is not about shopkeepers, it is about customers, right? Let's move to 24th.
So, what's the first step?
I think the first thing to do is check the list of references he gave me. But my computer is in for repair, so if I check in the reference library, would you be willing to look up some references online? Once we're done with the reference checks, we can write the questions together.
That's fine. I'll
So Sarah's computer is not working, so she wants Bill to check the references online. Online means on a computer. So, and Bill is agreeing with this answer. Bill is saying that's fine. So that's why your correct option for 24th is C. If Bill didn't agree, if he said no, then the answer would have been either A or B option. But here he straight away agrees with Sarah. That's why our answer is C. Now that is a very common trick used in IELTS exam where the two persons whether they agree to the first option or they agree to the second option, or maybe they will say no to first and second and they will agree on the third option. So you have to wait for the option for which both of them agree, the option on which both of them agree. Okay, note this point. Let's see 25th.
do the internet research. So, what sort of shopping are we looking at? Only food or goods or clothes shopping?
We have to find people who are willing to tell us about personal things like deodorants, cosmetics, soap, or vitamin creams. The other groups are doing food, electrical goods, and clothes.
So we have to find about people who will tell us about deodorants and cosmetics, soaps. And then she says the other groups. Other groups means the other people, because Bill and Sarah's group was which one? It was B group. It was mentioned at the start. And she's saying the other groups are doing about electrical goods and food and clothing. But Bill and Sarah's group, they will be doing about deodorants and cosmetics. So your correct answer will be A option. Let's see 26th.
That won't be easy, Sarah. People might think those things are a bit private.
Yes, I thought about that.
So he's saying now the question is about Bill's concern. So what is Bill worried about? What is Bill's main idea of concern? He's concerned that people will be worried about their privacy. Invading means attacking. So what is Bill worried about? He's worried about invading the privacy of people. Okay, that's why our correct answer is B option.
I'll ask the women, and you can ask the men. That should work okay.
Well, if you think so, give me the list of references then.
Sorry, I left them in my other bag at Joseph's house. I'll get them for you tomorrow.
Okay. Well, then this afternoon I think I'll catch up on the notes from last week. Can you help me? Or
So he's not worried about enough reference material. He's just asking for references, and Sarah is saying, I left them at home. So the question is not about enough कि पर्याप्त reference material हैगे या कि नहीं हैगे. The question is not about that.
are you busy?
I've made you a copy of the notes already to save you time. Here you are.
Wow, thanks, Sarah. That's so thoughtful. Well, since there's nothing for us to do right now, shall we go for lunch?
Actually, I'll have to catch you later. I have to go to a meeting this afternoon. Can I phone you tonight to arrange when to meet?
So let's look at 27th. What does Bill plan to do for the rest of the day? So his plan for the rest of the day, let's listen.
Me? Or are you busy?
I've made you a copy of the notes already to save you time. Here you are.
Wow, thanks, Sarah. That's so thoughtful. Well, since there's nothing for us to do right now, shall we go for lunch?
Actually, I'll have to catch you later. I have to go to a meeting this afternoon. Can I phone you tonight to arrange when to meet?
No, sorry, I have a date. Can we meet in the laboratory for the first class tomorrow?
I'm not sure because I have to go to the library to collect some books. What about meeting there at lunchtime?
You mean in the lab?
Yes.
Okay, see you in the laboratory tomorrow at noon then. Sounds like we have a lot of work to
So again, we are missing something here. Let's go back. Let's go back to the 27th question again.
I'll get them for you tomorrow. Bag.
do. Well, if you think so, give me the list of references then.
Sorry, I left them in my other bag at Joseph's house. I'll get them for you tomorrow.
Okay. Well, then this afternoon I think I'll catch up on the notes from last week.
So he's saying this afternoon Catch up. Catch up means he will review. Catch up is a synonym of review, and what he'll be reviewing? He'll be reviewing the notes from the previous week.
Can you help me, or are you busy?
I've made you a copy of the notes already to save you time. Here you are.
Wow, thanks, Sarah.
So this is easy. What does Sarah do for Bill? She made a copy of her notes for Bill. And that is your exactly your B option. No synonyms used here. That she gives him a copy of her notes.
That's so thoughtful. Well, since there's nothing for us to do right now, shall we go for lunch?
Actually, I'll have to catch you later. I have to go to a meeting this afternoon. Can I phone you tonight to arrange?
No, sorry, I have a date. Can we meet in the laboratory for the first class tomorrow?
I'm not sure because I have to go to the library to collect some books.
I have to go to the library to collect some books. So that's your C option. Again, a easy one. Let's see 30th. Where do Bill and Sarah agree to meet the next day? Now, where do they want to meet for the next day? Let's listen carefully. There are three options in the library, in the class, in the laboratory. Let's listen.
What about meeting there at lunchtime?
You mean in the lab?
Yes.
Okay, see you in the laboratory tomorrow at noon then. Sounds like we have.
So, where do they agree to meet? It is in the lab. Lab means it is laboratory. So, they have used short form. Okay. So, that's why our answer for 30th is C. So the whole third section, all the 10 questions, they were MCQs. Three or four questions were a little bit tricky, the others were easy. So you have to be very much attentive while preparing the MCQs, and how you'll prepare for them. You'll utilize the extra time given to you, the 30 seconds time to read the questions. Try to read all the questions. If you miss one answer in MCQs, it will take away your two or three other answers as well. Let's move to the fourth section.
A lot of work to do.
You will hear a lecture from the curator of an art gallery. You have 30 seconds to look at questions 31 to 32.
Year's series of public lectures and welcome. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first in this year's series of public lectures offered by the Art Gallery. As chief curator of the gallery, I was given the honor of
So, who is giving this talk? He is the chief curator. So, your answer is C option. Talk means who is giving the speech. Talk is a synonym of speech.
presenting the first lecture, and
So, I have the honor of presenting the first lecture. Very easy one. Let's see 30 second.
let me tell you, I had a difficult time deciding what to talk about tonight. Being the curator, I naturally know just about everything that's in this gallery, but I wanted to choose an artist who has a wide appeal. That seems only fair, yes?
I wanted to choose an artist who had an wide appeal. Wide means very broad. So that means who appeals to a wide group of people. So wide is a synonym of different. So different types of people or wide category of people. So people with different tastes.
But I didn't want to talk about someone so well known that anything I said would be familiar. I wanted someone modern. My personal preference is for modern art. But again, I wanted to choose someone who had the potential to appeal to all art lovers, whether they're
Who had the potential to appeal all art lovers. All means everyone with different tastes. So second time he has repeated the B option.
attracted to traditional forms, impressionism, surrealism, or what have you.
Now, this is not related to our answer. Impressionism, surrealism, these are some fancy words used in artistic language. We are not concerned about these. We are just concerned about our synonyms, that he wanted his artist to appeal to a wide group of people. So, wide is a synonym of different tastes, and then he wanted his artist one who is acceptable by all categories of people. So, both these options they match with B option. That's why our answer is 32nd is B.
You now have 30 seconds to look at questions 33 to 35.
Now I'm giving you this time. Just read all the options. What are the three characteristics? First is themes from Spanish history. Second is use of primary colors, influence of surrealism, complex geometric forms, large paintings, equal number of sculptures and paintings, birds and trees. So let's see which three options are given.
So, having spent the last 5 years as a visiting professor in Barcelona, it's not surprising that I finally chose to talk about one of the greatest Catalan artists, one whose work is likely to be familiar to many of you, Juan Miró. Look at this, and this, and this. Ring any bells? Miro's most famous and most widely reproduced works tend to be like this: bright primary colors with lots of asymmetrical forms.
So he's showing three paintings and he's telling the first quality he's telling is bright primary colors. So that is our which option? B option. This one is easy. Let's wait for the other two options.
He painted on large canvases, larger
He painted on large canvases. Canvases is the plain white board where you do your painting. So canvases is used as a synonym of paintings. So that is your E option, large paintings or large canvases.
than himself quite often, and his paintings depicted birds, trees, flowers, and other features.
This paintings depicted birds, trees and flowers. So very easy three questions. No question from these three should be wrong. Okay. Let's move to 36 to 40th.
Of the natural world. But Miro produced a great variety of work, and it's about some of his lesser known paintings that I would like to speak this evening.
You now have 30 seconds to look at questions.
Okay, let's look at the questions
Miro
36 to
was born in
40th.
Barcelona in 1893, the son of a goldsmith. He began to show talent very early, and in 1926 went to Paris, where he was drawn to the surrealists of Montparnasse. He did not define himself as a surrealist, however. He preferred to stay free to experiment with other artistic styles as he wished. Miro had an intense dislike of much of the painting and many of the painters he knew. He wished to do something totally different to express his contempt for bourgeois art. And yet, ironically, Miro's success made his work much in demand among art collectors in the world. But we can't really talk about the artist without looking at his art. And that's what I'd like to do now: to take a look at just a few of Miro's works and think about what it is that makes them special. Special to me and to a great number of people who flock every day to the Miro Foundation in Barcelona. Let's start with this one of Miro's best known and brightest works, Woman and Bird, a sculpture
So Miro's best known and brightest work. So what is the first work means? Title. Title is Women and Bird. So your 36th answer is bird.
created in 1982. It is on display in a park in Barcelona, often known as
It is on display at a park in Barcelona. So Barcelona is a Spanish city. So location is a park in Barcelona.
the Juan Miró Park. A huge sculpture, towering up into the sky, it reflects Miro's eternal interest in these themes, as well as his more technical interest in materials. This sculpture is covered in mosaic, which gives it a naive and cheerful appearance.
So
It is
listen this
interesting that this
again.
sculpture was complete, which gives, as well as his more technical interest in materials. This sculpture is covered in mosaic, which gives it a naive and cheerful appearance.
So this sculpture is created in mosaic. Mosaic means something that is formed together by small pieces, like something like we make paintings using tiles. So if we paste tiles together, it forms a mosaic. Mosaic, mosaic or mosaic also. Both pronunciations are correct. And it is covered in mosaic. And Naive is another word he's using. Naive means Naive. Naive means something that looks a little bit foolish. Naive. Naive. So he's using two good words. Listen to them again.
It reflects Miro's eternal interest in these themes, as well as his more technical interest in materials. This sculpture is covered in mosaic, which
His sculpture is covered. So sculpture is like a, we'll say, like a statue which is made up of mud. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਮੂਰਤੀ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, that is a sculpture. Pronunciation is sculpture, but L is silent. Remember the spellings. This is a very common important word.
gives it a naive and cheerful appearance.
So it gives it a naive and cheerful appearance. Naive spellings are Naive. Naive means foolish, a little bit foolish, thoda ja murkha wali, or joking appearance, and also a cheerful appearance.
It is interesting that this sculpture was completed in 1982, just a year before Miro's death. I think it shows that towards the end, he was feeling as playful as a young man, and I think he wanted to share this playfulness in a park on such a big, very public scale. And now, another representation of a woman, this time just called Woman.
Another representation. Representation means a title or a work or a painting. So this time it's called just a woman.
This was painted in 1976,
So this answer is easy. It was painted when 1976. Quite easy.
a late work for Miro, and is a work we cards or posters in gallery shops around the world. So why is it so popular? I think the use of color has something to do with it. People respond to the usually on a large canvas like this. It is rather surreal. It is still possible to recognize the form of a woman and to see it as a sympathetic representation. It's a bold, bright painting, and I think that it awakens a reaction in many of us. And finally, something quite different, though still a woman. A harsh, even violent work that was completed in 1939, at a time when Miro was greatly influenced by the events of the Civil War in Spain.
So it was done at a time when Miro was greatly influenced by the events of the Civil War in Spain. So Civil War in Spain means it is given in your 40th question. Fine. So there were some tricky questions, but overall this was a easy listening test. Again, if you have any doubt, you can ask me personally. You can call me, or you can just leave a message in the WhatsApp group, and do share your scores with me, and do subscribe and like our channel. All right, and you can give the feedback in the comment section also. So that's it for this listening. I'll be coming back with reading. Thank you, everyone.